Title: Love Across the Pond. International Airport Terminal Day, flashback.
I flew 3,000 miles to visit a guy I met online. I left with a broken heart, and somehow, a husband. When I was 18, I booked a spontaneous flight to London to meet James, a friend I met online. We'd been messaging for months, and I was finally brave enough to turn pixels into a person. We met through a forum for photography lovers. What started as comments turned into inside jokes, playlists, and, eventually, video calls that lasted way too long.
Soft piano music continues in background.
I've tried writing this story 100 times. I wanted it to be perfect, because to me it was. It's the kind of story romance movies are made of. But until they put it on a screen, I'll do my best to tell it here.
International plane, in-flight night.
I was 18 when I boarded a flight to London, a 10-day spontaneous trip to visit James, a friend I'd met online. We'd been chatting for months, and I was finally brave enough to turn texts into real life.
Exit London Street Day montage.
Everything about England fascinated me. The double-decker buses, the accents, even the cold drizzle felt like magic. James was exactly as I imagined, kind, clever, and effortlessly funny.
Intro James's childhood home, lounge day.
On the second day, James said he needed to swing by his childhood home to pick something up. I didn't mind. He invited me inside and left me in the lounge. I was excitedly planning what I'd email my best friend back home about the whole experience. And then he walked in.
Lewis enters the air stop. Slow motion. They lock eyes.
Louis, James's younger brother. He looked like a mirror of James. Same brown hair, same eyes, but there was something entirely different about him. And when I noticed him, it was like being hit by a train. The pressure, it all was on me. Then he walked in.
Hey,
He said, voice deeper than I expected. Hi. He told me later that he felt it too. I replied, almost startled. He looked just like James. Same hazel eyes, same half smile, but something about him was different. The way he stood like he was in on a joke the world hadn't heard yet.
you must be the American.
He said, grinning. And you must be the famous younger brother. He laughed, sat across from me, and we started talking. About nothing and everything. Music, stupid childhood pranks, how British cereal tastes weird. We joked about accents. He teased me for how I said aluminum. I called him a walking rom-com. And from that moment, everything changed. For the next 6 days, I barely saw James. Louis and I became inseparable. We snuck out to late-night cafes, shared fries while walking by the river, and watched old movies with horrible subtitles. We played card games and stayed up until 3 a.m., talking about the meaning of dreams, the universe, and what it felt like to be misunderstood.
James returns, sees them laughing, raises an eyebrow, amused. Montage, Louis and I spending 6 days together.
From then on, everything changed. I didn't want to do anything James and I had originally planned. I just wanted to be with Louis. For 6 days straight, we were inseparable. He took me to the movies, we grabbed dinner, swam under stars, wandered through bookstores and museums. No dull moments. Ever.
Intro Lewis's room, night, playing movie.
On the 7th night, I was half asleep on his shoulder when he leaned.
I love you.
I almost didn't hear it, but I felt it. I didn't say it back. Not then. But I felt too.
Exit balcony, night, long conversation, stars above.
On the 9th day, we sat on his parents' balcony just talking. About the future. About us. He told me he'd marry me right then and there if I wanted it. And I wanted to say yes. Every part of me wanted to say yes. But I was scared. He was 19, still in school. I was about to start New York University in the fall. And let's not forget, I'm black and he's white. I wasn't ready to be the one in my family to mix things up. Not at that age. And 3,000 miles, that kind of distance can kill even the strongest feelings. We agreed to stop before it got too serious, but it already was. That night we kissed for the first time. And I swear my heart ached in a way I've never felt before. Or since.
International Airport Departure Gate. Day.
He drove me to the airport the next morning. We got there early just to sit together, to hold on to what little time we had left. We kissed one more time before I left. We didn't exchange numbers. We knew if we did, we'd keep talking. And we knew talking would lead to something that would be impossible to stop. I cried every day for a week.
Intro New York apartment montage. 4 years of life going by.
4 years passed. New York University came and went. I dated around, chased dreams, lived fast. But I never found anyone who made me feel like Louis did. I never even said his name aloud. It was sacred. It was ours.
Intro NYC apartment ringing phone. It's James.
Then James called. Said he was inviting a bunch of old friends to London for my 22nd birthday. Said he missed me. Said I better not fall for his brother again.
Intro James's house lounge deja vu. Walks in, Louis.
But of course, Louis just happened to be there. Suspicious, right? I think James was setting us up. Louis was older now, hair shorter, voice deeper, but the way he looked at me, same.
Still stealing my seat, I see.
Grinning. Still dramatic, I see.
Montage. 3 days of tension and unfinished business. Dinners, side glances, laughs, shared.
We didn't talk about those 10 days 4 years ago. We didn't talk about what we were. But the tension never left the room. Every laugh, every look was still there.
Exit. Thames River. Night. Birthday walk.
On the night of my birthday, he took me for a walk by the Thames. We drank mulled wine. The lights reflected off the water. Everything felt full circle, full.
I should have told you I loved you back then.
I knew, but it's better hearing it.
They kiss again.
2 weeks later, we got married. It was quick. It was crazy. It was perfect. I stayed in London a month. Then he moved to California. We dropped everything and chose each other.
Intro cozy apartment. Night. Ultrasound coffee table. Photo on coffee.
People ask if it worked out. Here's what I tell them. We've been married 4 years, and we're expecting